All right, so in this video, we'll discuss just some overviews of the Cisco IoT website. And you'll notice that a lot of the features here with the IoT space is a lot like the older Linksys routers where you had ad hoc and autonomous APs. A lot of that setup is the same. On the main page here, of course, you can add devices and the different types of industrial wireless devices that Cisco offers. And then you can also, under more actions, download a complete configuration for all of these devices. And that one IWConf file can be applied to any device that you have within your list, which is super cool and versatile. You don't need multiple config files. It's one solid config file that you would upload to each individual device if needed, or if you have access to them over the cloud, then you can go ahead and, of course, push the configuration to them. Also, the configuration can be exported into a CSV or an Excel spreadsheet. Onto configuration. You can configure the devices three ways: locally by clicking on a device and then edit configuration and also pushing it to it. And of course, you can go down the line here with all the adjustments and settings. Then you can also go to configurations, and then you can make a template. That template can then be pushed to the devices. So one particular setup might be you have a fluid mesh for your mesh ends, and then a fluid mesh point group for roaming devices or vehicles, fluid vehicles. So that's one particular setup you can do. You can also do point-to-point. There's a lot of versatile things that you can accomplish with this by creating a template. Once you have a template, your template can then be applied to what's called a group. Now, devices can be assigned to a group. It's important to know that because even though you make a template, it may not necessarily correlate to your device. But when you have your devices, you have your templates, now you can pair them together using a group. So here is where you can remove devices from the group. One thing to note is you can only add devices to a group from your inventory page. So when you actually go to inventory, I just went back to that page, assign to group is what you would need to do, or remove from group. When you go to the actual group here, you'll notice that you can't actually assign a device to it. Under the, if I click on a group here, and then configuration, we'll just dive into configuration a little bit. Some things that you're able to accomplish with this, of course, with the wireless radios, you can have multiple roles, fixed, wireless, fluidity primary or secondary. And the newer models, of course, have 2 radios that you can utilize. As far as channels, few different channels. I think it starts at 36 for 5 gigahertz, and of course continues on depending upon your region. And then once you assign this type of radio role, you'll then enable your fluidity controls, and you can change it from infrastructure vehicle or infrastructure wireless relay. If it's a vehicle, of course, you need to assign a device ID. For the name of these devices, that's under miscellaneous. That's where you would assign the name. You'll notice that in the group, you have the option for per device, or you can set it to group policy, we'll call it, or template policy if you disable this piece here. Under general, I'm just going to switch back to this real quick. When you want to assign DNS, net mask, if they're all going to be in the same subnet, or if it's like a flat network, you can do that, but it won't let you mass assign a default gateway for a group or a template. If you have a local IP address, of course, for each individual device, you'll also need to assign the default gateway local to device as well. It won't let you complete all the steps. Some other interesting things to note. Let's see if they pop up here. Let me find them. Advanced radio settings. So these are pretty cool. You have to remember that if you are using 80 megahertz channels, like here under your wireless radio, when you go to advanced radio settings, this is where you can really start turning up that speed. MCS, you can go from 9 up to 11, which is going to give you more speed. Also, here, if we go down here, of course, distance, and you have that setting as well, but that's going to depend upon what kind of antennas that you're using. And here's a section I was looking for, guard intervals. So when you have your guard interval set, you have like 4 different options. And let's see if I can this. If I do that, and then like give me the option for guard interval. No, I won't. So you have, of course, you can get down to 400 nanoseconds. So that's important to keep in mind that if you're looking for that high efficiency and the like, here it is. High efficiency, now it should let us actually do this. Yeah. So you have a number of options. 800 is standard. You can go down to a lot slower transmission, or retransmission rather, for the guard intervals, up to 3200 nanoseconds. But 400 is where you get that max data throughput that you're looking for, that faster speed. So just a little bit around how this works on the IoT network. I hope you enjoyed the video. Very interesting but familiar technology.